A pivotal Supreme Court case could set a major precedent regarding religious freedom and public schools. The Oklahoma Charter School Board approved a publicly funded religious charter school, the first in the nation. The state's Attorney General claims giving government funds to a faith-based school violates the Constitution. CBN's Brody Carter has the story.
If we permit state funding of Christian indoctrination, then we must permit state funding of non-Christian indoctrination, which could include schools of Wicca, schools that worship Satan, schools that indoctrinate in an extreme sect of the Muslim faith, Sharia faith, which would exclude young women.
Oklahoma Attorney General Gentner Drummond is in a battle against the state's charter school board, trying to prevent taxpayer dollars from funding faith-based schools, warning it could open the floodgates.
We already have the Church of Satan that sought an application to fill out. I think they think this is lovely. You know, the Christians are going to fund satanic worship and indoctrination.
Drummond, a Christian, argues the state should not support or sponsor any religion. On the other side, fellow Christian and State Superintendent Ryan Walters sees the priority as getting public money for families so they can send children to the school of their choice.
It's about the freedom to express your religious beliefs without being penalized by the government. And it's about school choice and making sure that parents actually have that power over their kids' education.
Walters, a member of the Charter School Board, says the public funds would make a difference.
Depends on kind of some other factors, but we're talking about roughly probably $6,000 to $7,000 per child. So that would follow that child there.
In this case, now headed for the Supreme Court later this month, St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Charter School aims to become the nation's first publicly funded religious charter school.
So why this would be so helpful is, as a charter school, when a parent enrolls their child into their school, their taxpayer dollars flow directly to that school. So they have opportunities at funding that a private school would not. If the Supreme Court rules in favor of St. Isidore, what you're going to have are opportunities around the country that have never been given before, which is access to religious charter schools for children, where parents don't have to try to scrape together funds to get their kids a great education.
Critics, including the ACLU and its partners, argue public funding for religious schools violates the separation of church and state while undermining religious freedom. Regarding this case, they state Oklahoma taxpayers, including our plaintiffs, should not be compelled to finance a religious public school that intends to discriminate and indoctrinate students into a singular faith.
It's really disappointing. You know, that's the position that the teachers' unions have taken, the Democrats in state have taken, these radical left-wing groups that have engaged on this issue have taken. I mean, we have seen some radical atheists come in and just say the nastiest things about Christians and about the Catholic Church here.
St. Isidore Catholic School is represented by the First Liberty Institute, which argues that the Constitution's free exercise clause should take precedence over state laws.
That's one of the best baffling things about this case is that this has nothing to do with what someone has to go to school for. This is just offering choices. Think about it. That's the argument. We want to just take this religious faith-based school off the deck as a potential choice for voluntary parents.
Liberty Counsel is also involved. Its chairman, Matt Staver, who started Covenant Journey Academy, an online Christian school, would benefit should St. Isidore prevail.
If Oklahoma wins, that means that Christian schools like Covenant Journey Academy and others around the country could be disqualified from neutral programs that provide school choice opportunities to parents.
This case has captured national focus, with 12 states supporting public funding for religious charter schools. Justice Amy Coney Barrett has recused herself due to a personal connection, potentially setting the stage for a tie. Oral arguments start April 30th, with a decision possible this summer. I'm Brody Carter, CBN News.
As mentioned, if the court splits, funding is denied. And with this just a couple of days away, we'll keep you updated. And as you heard, Justice Barrett has recused herself, which is huge in this case. You have some on the left complimenting her on what that decision she has made. And this is one of the most important legal decisions to impact schools in decades. We will update you this week on further progress.